Hello, the Blood Angels book is here, sort of. It's available in the box set, the Blood Angels Army set box set, which has got lots of Death Company in it. I'm not actually sure if it's available on its own, but it's in the box, and thanks to Games Workshop for sending the box through. I did a short on the box. And then there's lots of other YouTubers out there who've got the codex. I'm going to run through it in detail for you guys so you'll know exactly what's inside. This review, my reviews, are more of like my impressions. I talk about the important stuff, but what I think. Is it any good? And yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, pre-order today. Hopefully you can get it on its own. If you can't, that's not pretty good. Another couple of things which aren't pretty good is no Librarian Dreadnought in here. That's gone. The Sanguinary Priest with Jump Pack, that's gone as well. So you just got your Sanguinary for your Feel No Pains. He can't join some Blade Guard. I don't know why. That's probably the best place for him. But just one without a Jump Pack. And you know all the special weapon combos you used to do and all your Death Company, like give them all Power Fists or give them all those little melt guns that they had. That's all gone now as well, because Games Workshop doesn't like nice things. Doesn't like you having nice things. He wants everyone to have all the things in the box. So a Power Fist, 1 per 5. There's an Eviscerator. Now it's a giant chainsword, acts kind of like a Power Fist, but strength 7. Basically, you have to mix and match the weapons that you find available in the boxes that you get these days. You can't just mix and match. So that's the thing. Sanguinary Guard went down to 3 or 6 models in a unit, but that's okay, because they have 3 wounds now instead of just their 2 wounds. And they have a baked in 4+ invulnerable save. They're as expensive as all hell to run 6 of them. Very expensive. But 6 of them together with a 4-up invulnerable save and a 2-up save with their jumping around all over the place. And previously, if Dante was leading them, they were -1 to wound. Now, when a character is leading them, they're -1 to wound in melee. And also in melee, they're -1 to hit naturally. So Sanguinary Guard, -1 to hit, -1 to wound, 3 wounds, 4 of them. They're quite tasty, but very expensive. And there's 3 flavors of Death Company in here. Death Company Marines, Death Company Marines with bolt rifles, Death Company Marines with jump pack. Basically, there's Death Company Intercessors, Death Company Assault Intercessors, and Death Company Assault Intercessors with jump packs, but they're Death Company. So all 3 of those units have a 6-up Feel No Pain. All 3 of those units re-roll all hits in melee all the time. And all 3 of those units have an OC of 0, unless there's a chaplain nearby, and they can't fall back either. So if you're running Death Company, you're going to run lots of chaplains, which gets us nicely onto the 3 detachments inside this book. Let's start with the second one, the Death Company one. It's called the Lost Brethren. Death Company Marines. Death Company Marines with bolt rifles become battle line, and each time a Death Company model from your army makes a melee attack, re-roll a wound roll of 1 if that unit is below starting strength. So while you're full strength unit, you don't actually get any benefits from the detachment. You need to lose a model first. And if that model's unit is below half strength, you can re-roll all wound rolls instead. So you're going to be bringing units of 10 Death Company here. So when 1's gone, you're re-rolling wound rolls of 1. When half are gone, you're re-rolling all the wound rolls. If you're bringing Death Company Dreadnoughts along, when that's half dead, re-rolling all the wound rolls. And remember, you're going to be bringing chaplains anyway, and normal chaplains attached to Death Company here or there give you +1 to wound. So you're looking at a lot of people running around all over the place, which are re-rolling all hits, because that's what they do, with pluses to wound, because you've got chaplains nearby, otherwise OC of 0, and re-rolling wound rolls of 1 or re-rolling all wounds as well. These fellas are absolutely going to blend. The best strat in here is called Lost to Rage. For 1 CP, any Death Company unit from your army until the end of the phase, in the fight phase, improve the attacks, strength, and AP by 1. All of those things, +1 strength, +1 attacks, +1 AP for 1 CP. Your weapons become hazardous unless there's a chaplain nearby within 12 inches. You're going to be running lots of chaplains. Astarath is a chaplain. Lamates is a chaplain. They don't give you the +1 to wound thing. Lamates reduces all incoming damage by 1, a bit disgustingly resilient. type stuff. He'll be good for having a company that's hanging around in the backfield, keeping your back lines okay. Not sure I'd be very happy back there though, but at -1 damage to all the attacks, nice defensive unit there. You might want to throw him up the table here. That does have a jump pack. Asterath hasn't got that +1 to wound chaplain thing, even though he is a chaplain. Instead, he's got while he's leading the unit, if anyone is destroyed by a melee attack and has not fought, roll a dice, and on a 4-up, those models can punch. So punching on death. Add that in with Final Retribution, which is another strat that's available to the Lost Brethren, and that's on a 4-up fight on death. So that's the same thing. In the fight phase, spend a stratagem. If you've lost models, roll a dice on a 4-up. They get to attack. If there's a chaplain nearby, they do it on a 3-up instead of a 4-up. So plenty of opportunities to fight on death. Add that to your couple of CP to interrupt the fight phase going forward. Add that to chaplains everywhere, giving you pluses to wound, and these guys re-rolling all hits in melee. If you're bringing lots of death company and you're bringing lots of chaplain, they're going to get plenty of opportunities to fight in melee. They want to get in melee, obviously. Blood Angels, hat. Where did the hat come from? I don't know where the hat, I don't know. There's also the new Death Company Dreadnought, which is basically a Brutalis Dreadnought with Death Company rules. So if you've ever gone up against a Brutalis Dreadnought, if you have a Brutalis Dreadnought, you know what they do. They reroll all wounds in melee. They've got those blood fit, those talony things, and basically they're twin linked. They reroll all wounds all the time. But this is a Death Company one, so he's rerolling all hits and rerolling all wounds, and it has a 6-up feel no pain. And it's got a surge ability. When it gets shot, it can surge forward 6 inches. Can't use that to get within engagement range. Bit like World Eaters, but World Eaters get in engagement range. This fella doesn't. Anyway, re-rolling all hits, re-rolling all wounds, 6-up feel no pain for a lot more points than your standard Brutalis Dreadnought. You're probably going to be bringing a normal Brutalis Dreadnought, to be honest. But if you want to pay like 40 or 50 points more to put this one in, it's fun. It's fun. You can Armour of Contempt it still as a 2-up save with 12 wounds. It's going to be fun. So the Death Company detachment only benefits Death Company models to really make it sing. You're going to want to have lots of chaplains around all over the place. They're going to have plenty of opportunity to fight. And you're going to want some stuff in the backfield, which probably isn't painted black, to give them some long-range fire support. Mind you, that's the moral of the story in the Blood Angels book. You're going to want some eliminators in the backfield. You're going to want a tank or two, or a land raider to put one of your really punchy units in it. Some kind of backfield fire support, and you're going to want that in all of these detachments, because all of the Blood Angels strats and detachments are all about getting in there and getting nasty. The second detachment we're going to talk about is the first detachment, the one that you all know. It's called the Liberator Assault Group, and that's the one where you get +2 strength and +1 attack on the charge. It's honestly probably the strongest detachment in the book, because as soon as you're adding +1 strength, +2 strength and +1 attack, you're looking at anything that is punchy in the Space Marine book, and anything that's punchy in this suddenly gets a lot better. So not just Sanguinary Guard or Death Company, but Terminators with +1 attack, Blade Guard Veterans with +1 attack, anything that aggressors with +1 attack and their strength, they're getting particularly punchy. And there's 4 strats in here. Savage Echoes, Red Rampage, Aggressive Onslaught, Relentless Assault. And these 4 strats allow you to do one of 2 things. You can pick one thing or the other thing, or if you pick both, then they fall to the Red Thirst and they count as battle shocked, though the strat is still active. So for example, Savage Echoes gives you an extra strength or attack in melee, strength or attack, or you can spend the CP for 1 CP, count as battle shocked, and you get both strength and attacks. And then the other one, Lance and Lethal Hits, that's one that they've had before. So you pick either Lance, or you pick either Lethal Hits, or you pick both, and then they count as battle shocked, 1 CP. There's also a strat that allows you to advance and charge, a strat that allows you to fall back and charge. So this one all of a sudden is really singing. And then there's Speed of the Primarch, which is once per battle at the start of the fight phase. the bearer uses this enhancement, and then the bearer and their unit gets fight first. So you've got a fight first once per battle enhancement. You've got an advance and charge. You've got a fall back and charge. And you've got extra lance lethal, and you've got extra strength and attacks. Add the extra strength and attacks to your +2 strength and +1 attack on the charge. That means Blade Guard veterans charging in there are suddenly strength 8 with their swords with an extra 2 attacks. Or Terminators, when they go flying in there with their fists and things, suddenly got to strength 11 with an extra 2 attacks for 1 CP. Liberator Assault Group is nasty. Again, you're going to want to back it up with some long-range Dacket in the backfield, because this unit wants to get forward, and while it's getting forward, it should be picking up all the secondaries that you need. It won't be suffering from that. I don't have any what is it? The Death Company. The Death Company, OC0, unless there's a chaplain nearby. You don't have to worry about this one unless you brought lots of Death Company in this one, which you can do. But the enhancements have been tweaked. The strats have been tweaked. It's stronger now. It's pokier now. I really like this one. And it's a good all-round one for almost any Blood Angel list that you want to pull together. You're going to want some kind of command point farm as well somehow, because you're going to be spending a slot CP. Advancing and charging, fallbacking and charging, an extra attack on top of the extra attack that you get when you charge. Armor of Contempt is available on all these detachments. This is going to be a CP hungry one because they're all good. And honestly, it's probably stronger than the Lost Brethren one for the Death Company, because that one only kicks in, the benefits only kick in if you've actually been wounded, and it only affects Death Company models, whereas the other one kicks in every single time you charge, and it affects all models. Lastly, we have the Angelic Host. This is the one that you're probably going to see in tournaments quite a lot, because at 2,000 points, it allows you to pick up 2 Astartes jump pack units from your army at the end of your opponent's turn, and then in your turn, drop them back in on the battlefield. And the Angelic Host only benefits stuff with jump packs. Well, except for the Strat Armor of Contempt. But everything in here is based around jump packs. And those 2 units that you can pick up at the end of your opponent's turn must be Astartes jump pack units. And this is, see, when you're running tournaments, when you're doing serious events, as well as just killing your opponents, you need to have 2 other things, 2 other serious components in your list. You need to have the ability to hold objectives, and you need to have the ability to take objectives and do secondaries. So having an army with lots of jump packs in means you've got that maneuverability to get where you need, to do those secondary objectives, to contest other objectives, to do secondary actions behind enemy line points, sabotage points, containment points, things like that. And then the Angelic Host means you're bringing lots of dudes with jump packs who have the maneuverability to score your secondaries, score your primaries. Again, you want something in the backfield to hold on to a thing, something with lone operative like Mephiston, just sat back there on his own, chilling, ready to jump on anyone who comes nearby. And picking up 2 units at the end of your opponent's turn with jump packs means you're probably going to be bringing a minimum of 4 little 5-man squads of guys with jump packs, as well as a lot more, 4 more other bigger squads to do some damage dealing potentially. There's also a strat in here that allows you to fall back and charge or advance and charge, which is good. You need that with jump packs. There's also a strat in here which means you can deep strike within 9 inches when you come back in, but not within 3 inches of an enemy, so long as you don't charge. That one's kind of essential as well when you're picking units up, because then you draw a secondary and it's like, I need to get there, but your opponent zoned it out very well, so there's no 9 inches back there. But there is space to drop in a unit, say 3-4 inches away, and then just score that secondary, and then you lose that unit, but you get the points for it, and your opponent has to go back and deal with that thing over there. So this one's got lots of crazy maneuverability in it, but you're losing that extra attacks that you would get with the first detachment, or you're losing those pluses to wounds that you would be getting, and the pluses to hit with all the Death Company, that detachment. So it's not as choppy, but it's a lot more maneuverable, a lot more tuned around how do I get my points. As for strats for killing, there's one for Sanguinary Guard, which is if a unit dies, one of your units dies, then you can spend a CP on Sanguinary Guard units that you have. And when your Sanguinary Guard units attack the unit that just killed your unit, you can re-roll hit rolls and re-roll wound rolls. That one's pretty good, but very situational. There's another strat which gives you lethal and precision hits in melee. That's for only Adeptus Astartes jump pack units. That's pretty, I mean, lethal hits in melee, that's pretty good, but no other real buffs in close combat like the other two detachments have. The Angelic Host is all about movement warfare. The other two detachments, all about killing stuff and killing it good. So, in summary, I think we'll see the Angelic Host in a few tournaments. The Lost Brethren is a fun one and strong, but the Liberator Assault Group, the OG one, has got even stronger, and that's probably the go-to one for your standard pickup games. It's 10th edition. There's some restrictions in here now to how you model stuff. The book has lost a little bit of flavour, but it's 10th edition. At least they kept the Baal Predator in here. I expected to see that legended as well. Maybe in 11th edition, that'll be legended. At least it's all the Baal Flamer, the Baal Predator, all of its Flamer weapons are assault weapons now, which is nice because you can re-roll advance rolls made for this model. So the Baal Predator can advance all over the place and flame stuff with its Baal Flamestorm Cannon and flame stuff with its heavy flamers on the side as well, which means it's really good anti-infantry Predator. But what's the one thing that Blood Angels don't need? They don't need more anti-infantry because they're really choppy in melee. They don't really need Baal Predators. What they need is anti-tank, anti-monster, long-range big guns backing them up as they get in there. But the Baal Predator is nice. I imagine in the next edition we're going to see that being a Baal Repulsor or Baal Gladiator. And then next edition we'll probably see the Librarian Dreadnought come back and some of the other bits that it'll come back in the end, probably. But overall, they didn't Dark Angels the Codex. This Codex has got some teeth in it. There's some interesting ways of playing it. There's some strong detachments to play with as well. And I know a certain Blood Angels player who was very excited to read it and get his hands on it, and has written about 7 lists already. So he thinks it's boggers. So the Blood Angels Codex, have you seen any of the reveals? Have you seen any of the leaks? What do you think? Stick it in the comments section below. I always look forward to reading what you guys put down there. As ever, I've been Winters, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy wargaming.